Hey guys, this is Ilya and Miri, and we just started our third week of our world mountain bike tour.
We started this morning in Trieste, Italy, and crossed through Slovenia, made it towards Croatia, and now we are starting to follow a tour that is, we think, called Trans Balkan Trail, and we found it on the website bikepacking.com. Yeah, and we just left Italy this morning. We already miss it. We had our last good coffee, and now we are entering into the complete wilderness. We just passed a sign that showed us that this is a bear area, so we are a bit alert, and
we will try to hide always the food during the night somewhere in the trees, or to put it like on a string. We will also try to not eat near the tent. We will try to eat half an hour at least before camping. We will try to camp in really open areas, and we hope we will not meet any bears. If we will deal with it. We've realized this trail goes a lot off-road. It doesn't have so many connections with big cities, so probably supplies would be a bit, let's say, more complicated. The trail is supposed to be nice, a lot of riding through nature, probably a lot of very steep sections, but we hope it will be fun at least, or let's say we hope there will be beautiful landscapes to see to kind of motivate us to push through.
so we hope it will be worth the suffering.
Yeah. Tomorrow the weather should be a bit rainy, so tomorrow we might suffer a tiny bit. We might need to use again our rain clothes, but the day after tomorrow probably the weather will become stable again and it will be pretty nice. I mean, the temperature outside is already pretty warm, so even a bit of rain, it will not damage us too much.
Yeah, the last 2 hours we rode through pretty much emptiness, and we are a bit realizing right now that we are really leaving civilization, leaving everything we know, and we also realize that we are even feeling maybe a tiny bit homesick right now, because it's just coming now very clear that we are leaving everything we know behind and just going into cultures, landscapes, countries that we just don't know, you know.
Yeah.
Exactly. So leaving our comfort zone, basically.
And there will be a lot of challenges. I was lucky enough to see my brother in Trieste yesterday, and we had a little rest afternoon that we could wash our clothes and we could eat very good food. We could just spend quality time together, and we might do it again at the end of the week, but this depends, of course, how far we get on the trail. To hijack a bit Yemi's holiday again for a day at least, maybe at the end of the week, but we don't know yet. It depends a bit if we manage to get in the same place near the sea. After crossing the border to Croatia, our trail took us through two islands, Kres and Krk, and these islands were a bit, let's say, underwhelming.
Yeah, I mean, Kres was really nice.
Kres was a bit nicer with nice views, and Krk was a bit flatter with a lot of forests, a lot of trails which were rocky into the bushes. And we probably learned a few important lessons so far, at least in Croatia. I think we started this project, and this is a very tough project, you know, to go around the world on a mountain bike, following mostly trails. And to be honest, I don't know anybody from my friends or in the online environment doing this. And what we learned so far is that not every trail deserves being followed, especially the trails that gives you a lot of pain and they don't have any view. So I think for a trail to be worth being followed on a mountain bike, it has to at least offer a view or take you somewhere really nice, because otherwise suffering somewhere in the bushes is just not worth. I mean, better take a street with a more open scenic environment. Yeah.
I mean, we've had a lot of trails with huge rocks that just kind of, it takes 1 hour for 5 kilometers, and then if you're just in the bushes and you don't see anything, for us there is no point, because we still want to go places. We are not on a mountain hiking tour either, but a mountain biking world tour, and so we have to be very selective with the trails, which we've probably learned in the last
at
days.
least especially in the last week, I would say. Yeah, through Slovenia at least, and Croatia. It's also very tough for us to adjust the tire pressure for every trail, because sometimes we have sections that we need to ride over the pavement, we have sections that needs to be ridden on gravel or trails, and to adjust the tire pressure to every 5 kilometers would take a long time to pump the tires back to a desired pressure, let's say. So we try to be a bit conservative with the tire pressure until we get sections of prolonged off-road mountain bike or gravel roads. What else we've learned here in Croatia, at least, is that the drivers are not very careful with the bikers. I think it's a bit annoying, and we are really glad that we are somewhere in the mountains. So far the trails took us from the islands directly somewhere
we're
in the
riding
mountains.
on the mountains right next to the coast, so we're always overlooking the sea, but we are up high and around, I think, a level of 800 meters, and that is very nice because both we have a view and we are kind of very alone, and the nature is beautiful, so we're very satisfied with the area we're in right now. We are off-grid for about a bit more than 200 kilometers, so we had to really stock up with food. Plus, the water has become a problem here, which you wouldn't expect because everything is green, but you don't find any streams. So we started having to go to little tiny towns to find water. But this is still fine because we are on bikes, so even if we run out of water, we can always find a village that is maybe 10-20 kilometers away. So we will not dry out.
It would be, however, very tough for hiking in this area.
Yeah.
We still try to protect ourselves against bears by putting the food into the trees, not eating very close to the tent. We had lunch today and we were hijacked by a herd of horses. So they just came to us and they tried to get our bread.
They were very interested in our oats. They were just very sweet, but also a bit intimidating because they had huge muscles and they were very curious.
Yeah, they were really sweet.
No, the area is very wonderful, very wild, very open, and we're very happy to be here. Now we are approaching the Velebit National Park. We still have to be aware of bears, snakes and scorpions.
We will cross basically the national park, and we will also not have supplies for the next probably 1.5 days at least.
Yeah,
yes.
We're carrying a lot of food.
Also water.
Yeah.
And
the weather has become so much better. I mean, we had one more terrible rainy day that got us extremely soaked again and cold. But the last, I think, 2 days have been wonderful. just like 25 degrees and sun. So that helps a lot. That helps really a lot. Looked up train connections, and we found out that in the next town there is a train station and a train that we can take towards the coast, where we then can meet Yemi to spend some time with him and his family. Problem is we have 2 hours for 50 kilometers on mainly off-road paths, and we don't know if we will make it, but we will certainly try. The plan is to then afterwards go back to the trail and continue towards Bosnia, so see you in Bosnia.